Welcome, International Nova, to Champagne and Conversations. How are
Yes,
you?
I'm doing good. You're looking beautiful and lovely and
Oh,
amazing. Thank you for having me.
thank you. And thank you for pulling over in Atlanta traffic. So, of course, we can't cheers because you don't have your cocktail with you.
Listen, we,
I'll
we
drink
we
for
can
you.
we can still cheers to life and to just being here. You know what I mean?
No
Being together at
doubt.
this moment. So,
No doubt. How are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed, man. I think that with everything going on in the world, it could be a lot worse. So I'm one of those people. I'm very happy and appreciative of where I'm at in my life and where God has placed me. So I'm happy. I'm blessed.
Yeah, that's how we have to be. We have to embrace it. Now, when people say your name, do they say the entire International Nova? What do they shorten it to?
Well, I think the people that don't know me, of course, is International Nova, right? But I
Okay.
think once people kind of get to know me, and then once they learn that Nova is actually my real name, it's my last name, then
Oh, okay.
it becomes Nova. You know what I mean? My family, my mom calls me Nova. Like it's become that at this point in my life.
Wow, that's so cool. I've never heard that name before. So that's nice. That's like Valencia is a lot of Spanish last names as well.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
it's
just
it's
one of the
funny because I'm Dominican, right? I'm of course I'm Latin, right? But my family, both sides of my family have Italian names.
Oh
So
wow.
like my dad's side is Nova, and my mom's side is Leonardo. So it's like both Italian. So somewhere in the family, somebody messed with an Italian person. I guess I don't know, but
Gotta love
yeah,
it, right? Gotta love it. That's exactly what happened.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, International Nova, we have with us this evening, and we just want to introduce him as singer, rapper, producer. I must ask, do you dance too? Because we can't leave that out if you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a mean two step. I mean, I'm not super crazy with the dance moves, but I'm from Bronx, and you got to have a two step if you're from Bronx.
Okay, all right. We had to add that in for sure. So, and it's funny just to jump right into it. When I was listening to Mansions and Audemars, and
Yeah.
I was expecting for you to sing, and Tony Sunshine, shout out to Terror Squad, was singing, and you were rapping, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought that he was this. I had to go back and look again to
Yeah,
figure it out. But
you know, so I when I first kind of started and I started doing hip hop, right? First of
Mhm.
all, Tony's that's my brother. That's been my best friend since I've been yay
Same,
high. And
that's
so I tell people that's my brother, blood wouldn't make us closer. So shout out to Tony, the
that's
legendary
what's
Tony
up.
Sunshine. But
Absolutely.
in the beginning of my career, I was a rapper. I was rapping, I was producing, I was writing, I was engineering. And the first half of my career, well, the first actually large chunk of my career, I was a rapper. Did a lot of things and been on Billboard and been on tour and number one records and things like that as a rapper. And then within the last year and a half now, I transitioned to singing and kind of doing the Latin reggaeton and Latin Afro side of things. And that's where I'm at now.
Yes. So what part of it do you enjoy most? Do you enjoy the singing or the rapping?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. For a long time, I had kind of lost um the happiness that music brought me when I was doing hip hop and just rapping. Because I just felt like what we said off air, I think everybody started to sound the same. People started to look the same. There was just no creativity in it for me.
Right.
And once I transitioned into doing singing and doing the Latin thing and the Afro thing, all that joy just came back. And it really
Oh,
became a thing of me just being creative, thinking outside the box. And I think that is what kind of drives me now is to just have fun. Experiment in the studio, see what comes out. Controller became the biggest record of my career, and it was literally my first.
congratulations to Controller. Yes.
Yeah,
And that's
thank
featuring
you.
our legend Petey Pablo. That's dope.
Yes,
So we'll definitely
another big
ask
brother.
you how that came about. But yeah, I want you to finish talking to us about what you do enjoy most.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, just to allude to control. It was just me experimenting, having fun, singing, rapping. You know what I mean? And I tell people don't forget, I still rap. I'm doing both right now. I'm just doing it on two different languages, and
Love
it's
it.
a fun process.
I love it. Actually, a bit of Queens, the new show that's out, they just sampled that or went into that kind of aspect with the Latin. artists that wanted to rap and sing in the language as opposed to, just doing the English version. And I think that's dope. I love it.
Yeah.
Controller is a dope song. That is your new
Thank you. Thank you.
single that's out. And as you just stated, it is featuring Petey Pablo. So how did that come about?
Oh man, shout out to Petey. I think Petey,
Yeah, shout out.
legendary artist, legendary writer that a lot of people don't know. He's a writer and a producer. And from doing the Petey Pablo records that everybody knows to doing the TV show stuff, you know, um, it was a blessing. I moved to Atlanta a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago now, and I met Petey through Bone Crusher, who became like
Okay.
my big brother in Atlanta when I moved to Atlanta. And Petey just became family instantly. And we were actually working on his album. I was producing most of the project. And one night he was like, "Hey, bro, like send me one of your records. Like you keep doing stuff for me. I want to do something for you. Like let's do a record." And I
Cool.
was like, "Yeah, I'm doing Latin music. I don't know." And he's like, "Nah, like send me the record." And he happened to have just sent me a Afro record that he did with an artist from Africa to kind of like show me like, look, I can do that too. And I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I just did this record. Let me know what you think about it." Really, that's all I expected was just some feedback. Left, went to go walk the dogs for 20, 30 minutes, came back and he called me on FaceTime. I was like, "Dude, open your email." And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Open your email." And he's like, "I want you to play it while we're on the phone." And I played it and I was like, "Oh man, we got something crazy here."
That's right.
And it became the biggest, like I said, the biggest record of my career at this point.
Nice, nice. And that just actually came out as streaming on all platforms. Super fly. Just the beat, the vibe of it. I love it anyway, because I love that type of music. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was really excited about it. So congratulations on that as
Thank you.
well. And while we're doing that, share your social media and all of that great stuff so people can find your music and any of your merch.
Yeah, yeah. International Nova and all social media. We got the merch, the Nova Baby merch.
Okay, I
Hoodies,
like that.
tracksuits, hats, a little bit of everything. But all social medias, International Nova, Nova. I love to respond back to the fans. I love to have conversations with the fans, man. And not only about music, about life, about, different things and this existence that we kind of go through. I'm all about conversation. So, hit
All
me up.
about conversations. Yes, I love it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, so I wanted to ask you, as we have verses coming up,
Yeah.
and we have a really special verses coming up, it seems as if you had some sort of interaction with one of the verses artists, which would be Music Soul Child. So I just wanted to find out from you, what interaction did you have with music?
Every time I think about music, man, I think about, so first of all, I met music through Bone Crusher. Again,
Okay.
when I came to Atlanta, Bone Crusher became like my big brother, and through him, I kind of navigated Atlanta and was able to work and meet a lot of different people. And him and Music Soul Child are really good friends. And he had brought music to my house. I got a big recording studio in my house, and he brought music to the crib. And my first, literally my first encounter with music, he almost killed me. Um, I'm allergic to seafood. I can't do seafood. I can't do shrimps.
Oh no,
Um,
I'm so sorry.
and yeah, and Bone
Because I love
Crusher
it.
is, everybody says that, but it's like, hey, okay, well,
Oh
I've been good so
man,
far.
I'm so sorry you're missing it.
But class chef.
Uh-oh, you there? Think you froze on us. Okay. I
Hey,
think we
B, I'm
got you
here.
back. There you go.
Okay. So people don't realize Bone is a world class chef, and he has this thing of always bringing food when he would come over to the house, and he had made this mac. I love mac and cheese. I love cheese, but he made this thing of mac and cheese, and I guess he made a seafood mac and cheese and
No
a
doubt.
normal mac and cheese, and
Yes.
he had told me, he's like, "Hey, go grab the food, bring the food inside." So music came in and brought the food, and I'm tearing up the food, not realizing the seafood in it. I start to break out. My face is
Oh
breaking out,
no. Oh no.
and
Oh no.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Bone's wife is like, "Bro, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Wow, what's up? I'm just eating." And she's like, "Oh my God, music, you grabbed the wrong one." So she like ran and gave me an EpiPen and stuff.
Oh
So it
good,
was
they
it was
had
a
one.
yeah, yeah, it was a very funny first encounter. But um, you know, really good dude, amazingly talented. One of the most talented people I've ever been with in the studio. He taught me some things that I didn't know on the engineering side. and
Okay.
some tips and tricks. And we literally watched Rick and Morty for like the first 4 or 5 hours, and which is a cartoon, and then just worked and worked. And one of the things I learned about Music Soul Child is he's such a hard worker. He was literally in the booth cutting vocals for about 4 hours straight.
What was he working on?
He was working on a record between him and Bone, and then a
Okay.
record with him and another artist, Brandy's ex-boyfriend. I forget the guy's name, but on a record for him. And again, just a workaholic. He was in that booth for about 4 or 5 hours. Came out the booth drenched in sweat,
Wow.
but he wasn't coming out that booth till he got those vocals right. And then coming to find out, as me and Music started talking and hanging out more and more, his birthday is the day before mine, and
When is your
we kind of
birthday?
clicked on that level. We're both Virgos,
Are you
and
serious? We're
yeah,
Virgos.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
When is your birthday?
September 17th.
Oh, I'm the 20th. We're Virgos.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So
Tell
you're
me
right
about it.
around there. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
But great guy, man. Super talented, and I love to be around people that I can learn from. I can be a sponge,
Yes.
and
Right.
he was one of those people, and he wasn't afraid to show me some tips and tricks. And I was just, as I said, Tony Sunshine is like my big brother. So to be around him, people with those amazing type of voices, I've kind of been lucky and privileged enough. And then when I got in the studio with Music Soul Child, it was like, oh my God, like this guy is just a beast.
Right.
And legend. I give him all the props in the world. But beyond music, he's really an amazing person.
Yeah, we had TL Cross on last
Okay,
week.
yeah.
He too said the same. So I'm very, very excited about versus next week. And just I guess to ask, who will you champion in the verses? Do you have one, or are you gonna stay neutral?
Well, I gotta go Music Soul Child. I
Okay.
have to.
I
I
didn't
have
want to
to.
assume because you still
Yeah,
may
yeah.
have some sort of relationship with Anthony Hamilton as well. And we
No,
do love Anthony's music. We just had to pick one, Anthony. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
picked
I met
that.
Anthony Hamilton at a couple of events out here in Atlanta.
Right?
Haven't
Yeah,
had
because he's
really
there.
much communication with him, to be honest,
Right.
but it seems like a really nice guy. Both talented, but
Sure.
I just, I was a Music Soul Child fan even before I met music
I
and
was
stuff
as
like that. So
well. Yes, I've been a Music Soul Child fan for a long time. Going back listening to the catalog, I was like,
yeah, like the
this
Buddy
was
record and all
it.
these different records, like music is a genius when it comes to this music thing.
Dope, so dope. And you've also worked with another one that I really, really like, which is Pitbull. So what interaction did you have with him?
Well, with Pitbull, we actually performed at a couple different concerts together. At the
Nice.
at the
Okay.
time, yeah, at the time I was around the NSYNC camp, NSYNC, Pink, Justin Timberlake, of course, and Backstreet Boys, and just kind of being a sponge at the time. I was much younger, and they had a concert in New York one night, and AJ just brought me out on stage with the rest of them, and I was able to rock out and have some fun. Right after us, it was Pitbull, and to watch that man perform, it's one thing when you see people and you listen to their music, but as a artist at the time that was really trying to learn as much as I could, to watch that man perform in a
I know.
three-piece suit,
It's
first off,
amazing.
in a three-piece suit with a full band, amazing, amazing. And he was super cool off stage. You know,
Yeah.
um, it was funny because I had met him a couple years prior in Miami before he became Pitbull,
I did
the,
as well.
the
I
big
think
Pitbull.
about that so much. Yes.
I met him at a pizza shop, and I,
Yes.
I told him that story. He was like, "Yo, that's crazy!" Like,
That's
but it,
crazy.
it goes to show you, some of the people that you see on the way coming up, you may see on the way coming down. So dignity, being a good person really means a lot because those are the same people that can help you, and really look out for you in this industry.
No doubt, absolutely. So with that being said, you mentioned we were kind of guys having a little bit of um pre-game conversation, if you will, and
Uh,
I was privy to knowing that there is some new music, some new music coming. So we're gonna have International Nova come back and join us, and at that point we'll have our sips and share
yeah.
that. We'll share that story, but give us a little insight, if you don't mind, on what we can expect with the new music.
Yeah, so I got a new single. It's called Dolly. It's funny because I tell people all the time, as a rapper, I have like this one persona. As a singer, I have this other persona, and it's so dope to be able to blend the two now in two different languages,
Yeah.
right? And Dolly, as amazing as Controller was, I think that Dolly is just as amazing. But Dolly is more in your face, is more club ready, up tempo. It's reggaeton at its finest.
Wow.
And I'm rapping in English and Spanish, and I'm singing in English and Spanish. And it's actually on the TV show Covenant right now on TV.
Oh,
That was
cool.
my first major.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. My first major TV placement. And people, I just performed this record for the first time 2 weeks ago, and the entire like as soon as I got off stage, everybody just kept saying "Dale, dale, dale." Like it was so crazy.
Right.
But it's an exciting record. I think that Control is an amazing record for what it is. And I think Dolly is going to be the same thing in a whole different route. And I think that it's super dope to have both of these sounds coexisting in one project. And my duality or actually triality of R&B and hip hop and Afro and Latin now, these four different elements who really make up who I am as a person is dope to have it in one project and kind of be able to touch each one of those in different ways.
Sure. And actually, when you say that you're gonna have, different mix up on the same EP or your same project, do you have any new features on this particular on Dale or any other
No,
features?
so no features on Dolly. Dolly is just
Okay.
me. It's a full solo record. But again, I'm rapping, singing on it, two different languages. My project has some amazing features on it. I can't say too much. 'Cause
Oh,
some
we
big
was gonna get an
names.
exclusive.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
some
it's
big
fine. It's
names.
fine. We'll wait for you to
I
come
will
back.
I will give one away because I know a lot of the fans know this one already. But I got Gaza Slim or Vanessa Bling, who is a princess of dance hall for years. We did a couple of records in my project, a couple of records on her project as well.
Mhm.
And she's an amazing dance hall artist. I met her at a studio one night with Akon's wife,
Okay.
and we just clicked and just worked. And it's super dope when people from different genres, from different forms of music, who
Sure.
are huge in their own right, love your vibe and your energy, and just want to work and respect your craft. And shout out to Vanessa Bling because she was definitely one of those, and she's a queen at what she does. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Anyone else on your bucket list of artists to work with?
Um, no, and I'll say this. I'll say why. For me, my career came full circle when I was able to work with the Outlaws and most notably Hussein Fatal, the Outlaws, because growing up as a huge Tupac fan, that's why I fell in love with hip hop, why I fell in love with music. And when I was able to reach out to Hussein Fatal on my first album and ask him to do a feature, and his response to me was, "Dude, I'm a fan of you. Like, let's just work." And I sent him one record, hoping he jumps on one record. He sent four records back for me,
Wow.
just off the strength, no money involved. That to me was my full circle moment to go from having these idols, these people that for me to this day, it's 20, almost 25 years later since Pac died. And I still religiously play Tupac albums. To be able to connect to those same people, I can only wish that my music would do that for somebody else. And for me, that's when it came full circle. And at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't need to work with nobody else. And I keep getting blessings on top of blessings every year, from the Bone Crushers to the P. Pablos to I just recently produced a record for Neo for his new TV show. Me and my
Oh,
partner,
shout out
we
Neo.
we did the theme song for Neo for that show for Step Up, and these blessings continuously keep coming, and I'm just appreciative of it. And I think the only person at this point in my life I would love to work with would probably be Daddy Yankee, because I'm now in this subgenre. I'm doing
Yes.
this now. I think Daddy Yankee's the king of reggaeton and Latin music, and I would love to work with Daddy Yankee.
There's actually in that space that you were talking, as it related to the reggaeton, I was just looking at some new artists that are coming out.
Mhm.
One actually, well, it's several females that I was kind of looking at. Becky G, are you
Oh, she's
familiar with
fire. She's fire.
Fire, right?
If I'm not
And
mistaken, Becky G used to be J Lo's artist. She was an
oh,
R&B
really?
artist at first. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. She
okay.
was an R&B
Yeah,
artist who
she's
transitioned to
dope.
like.
I like her and I like Natty Natasha. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say it is. There's a lot of shout out to Carol G. There's a lot of dope females in the Latin game.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
you know,
Shesina.
Shenzhen.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Okay, yeah, she actually just did one with Khaled, and that was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah, yeah,
dope as well. But I was
yeah.
listening
So
to her
Shenzhen,
other.
if I'm not mistaken, Shenzhen is from the UK and she does Afro
Okay,
music. What
I
she
thought I
does.
saw
But she has, I want to say
Khaled.
she has collab with some Latin artists. But no, that
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
glad you say that though, because there are a lot of dope female artists
Yeah.
in not only the Latin side of things, but in music, that I have a lot of respect for from Cardi. I just did a record with Bia, who's fire.
Nice.
Um, and in the Latin game, the Karol G's, the Nati Natachas, Rosalia, who's breaking records in every single country. It's amazing. There's so many dope females in this game that I
Right.
feel like we need to kind of acknowledge them a whole lot more, man. They're so talented.
Yeah, because when we think of the Latin artists, we know Talia and we know J Lo and we know
Talia,
Cardi,
yep, yep.
those folks we know. And I was like, let me dig a little deeper just in case he goes in. And I'm like, I'm not familiar with those folks. So I was listening to their music and I was like, okay, because I like that vibe anyway, especially when
Yeah.
you just in chill, you don't have to hear a lot of just all the time. So the beat
When you
is
get a
nice.
second, check out
It was
Rosalia.
okay.
She's
Rosalie.
from Spain, I want to say.
Mhm.
Barcelona. She's from Barcelona, which I guess she's in
We lost you just a second. She's
her
from
album was
Spain.
just voted by Rolling. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she's from Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
And it's Rosalia, Lia.
Okay.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rolling Stone just voted her album to be one of the top 500 albums of all time.
Okay.
And she's got a whole different vibe, a whole different voice tone and voice structure. She's really dope, really, really dope.
Wow. So you'll have to have, you'll have to do something with one of those artists just to,
I would love to. I would love
yeah.
to, man.
Yeah.
The other day, I got a call the other day, and they were like, "Yo, Cardi's a big fan of your music," and I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, Cardi was just talking about controller and things like that." So it's dope to hear those things because it lets you know that when you have those dark days and those I don't know if I'm gonna make it days, those type of things uplift you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love to work with many of the top females in the game, Latin or hip hop, to be honest.
Yeah. Who were your influences growing up? I know you spoke of Pac and I know you've studied a lot as it related to, did you actually get to meet him or no?
I never got to meet Pac.
Okay.
I would, man, I would have loved to have met Pac. Um, I think that like I was watching a documentary last night, um, and it didn't. I mean, we all know it, but it doesn't hit you till you realize he was only 25 when he died, and he was able to kind of do all these things in the world and juggle all these different things. And then coming from the Black Panther, um, party and what they went through, it's crazy to imagine he was only 25, you know what I mean? And the impact, like again,
That he
I can
had.
only wish that my music has that impact on some people, let alone millions and millions of people who to this day are diehard Tupac fans. Um, you
And
know,
not just the music, he as a person, because the
yeah,
stories
yeah,
that we often hear are stories of them, on tour or, just in some sort of home setting or what have you. So he as a person was just such a huge influence.
yeah. I've been blessed to be in rooms with people who knew Pac and met Pac personally and
Right,
have conversations of little things that Pac did and people don't know about,
right.
and Fatal gave me some stories and Royal Flush gave me some stories and different people who had interactions with Tupac back when he was alive. And, you know, I will say that outside of Pac and the Outlaws, I mean, again, they were the reason why I fell in love with hip hop. That Me Against the World album, that had me instantly stuck on music and hip hop. Um, but to be around Terror Squad, to be around my brother Tony Sunshine, to be around, a lot of people don't realize when I first came in the game, I was in a group called Street Corner, and we were managed by the same people who worked with the Cold Crush Brothers and DJ Jazzy J and Grand Wizard Theodore and Cool Herc. And, as a kid, I'm hanging out with these guys daily.
How dope is
You know what I
that?
mean? Grandmaster Caz and all these different people who were forefathers of hip hop, right? and I'm just a kid, Africa Bambata. I'm just a kid around these people, and I'm just at the time not realizing who they were. And
Right.
as I started to kind of, gradually become who I am now, it really made me be in awe of my growth and my progression in music, not only hip hop, but music. And as I come to realize now, I learned a lot from those people
Yeah.
unknowingly. And
Great.
those are the people now that I can say I looked up to, and I still look up to, because it's still love when I see them and when they see me. And they always tell me, dude, I'm so proud of you. Like, you move, and you don't came up, and it means a lot coming from those guys, because again, I mean, those are the people that put this music forward. I mean, Ice-T, like I hung out with Ice-T several times, dope conversations. And, people like that who are really Snoop Dogg. Every time I see Snoop is love, like, it's always amazing to be around these people, man, and really just be like, wow, like I'm able to be in these rooms and have jokes and laughs, because I think
Yeah.
sometimes people forget this is an industry,
Mm-hmm.
and the industry is what messes up the music business, right? The business of music is what causes the stress, and it causes you to not believe in yourself, and it causes strains and different relationships, whether it's friendships or just relationships. And I've been blessed, man, from the Diddy's to whoever. I've been able to work with and be around people who I grew up admiring, and I'm able to pick up a phone call or a phone and call them and have a conversation and get advice. And that to me means a lot.
Yes, no doubt. Do you play any instruments?
So I play the keyboard or the piano. I'm not trained. I play to what I hear. You know what I mean? As a producer, I think that a lot of it is feeling and energy and vibe. And I'm also smart enough to know when I can't play certain things and call a person who can, and but no, I'm not trained musically to play the guitar or the keyboard, but I can play to what I hear, and I can play melodies that I want to lay down. And yeah, I've been blessed with that.
Yes, just such a multi-talented individual, an artist, and your own right. And you have had so many layers of experience, which obviously has enhanced your individual career as an artist. So
Mm-hmm.
that's super dope just to hear all of those, and for you to even be able to share that at this point, we're all in good health and good strength, and you're
Amen.
able to,
Amen.
be able to push that forward and inspire those that may be looking to get into the industry, those that are not quite sure what um, genre of music at this point, because we do talk a lot of hip hop, we know, and we
Yeah.
do of course love our R&B, but those that may be wanting to get into the Latin side of things, or reggaeton, which is super dope. Afro beats obviously is really really taken off
Mm-hmm.
last few years. So all of that rhythmic energy is just something that we need, I think, just to keep the pulse, just to keep the heartbeat.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, right? I truly, truly feel that the universal language is music. You know what I mean? And
No
and and
doubt.
every day I surprise myself even more with that, because my
Absolutely.
own personal transition from hip hop to Latin music to something that people always ask me to do Latin music. And for a long time I kept saying no, 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 I'm a hip hop guy. I'm a hip hop. And I really felt like, well, one, I'm a Virgo. I don't like to be told what to do. But two, I
Don't
want
tell
to.
people that. People will think, they think we got attitudes, which is true.
Well, I will say that we are headstrong, we are stubborn, but we also people who are have amazing hearts, and we love hard. But we
Love hard.
also
That is
we
such a guilty
yeah,
pleasure.
but we also
Love
love to
hard.
have a backup plan and a backup to the backup plan. And I'm one of those
That's
people.
the overthinker that they say.
Yes, yeah, I'm one of those. I'm definitely an overthinker, and I love
I
to
don't think
plan.
we call it that. I think that's strategic planning. I'm not going to use overthinker. I'm going to say strategic planning for
I
those that
I
don't
tell
understand.
people I try to cover all my bases, and I got
Absolutely.
a
And then
plan
basic.
A, B, C, and a D, and a E, and a F if I need those. But no,
See,
I
now I
just
don't
feel
feel
like,
so out of place. Good.
yeah, yeah, no, but again, I just feel like music is the universal language. No matter what language you're speaking or singing or rapping or whatever, you can feel the energy, you can feel the vibe when you listen to a music or to a record. And take a person like Sade. Sade's been around for forever.
Oh,
Still an amazing,
yes.
beautiful woman, amazing music. And I remember listening to Sade, as an adult, I still listen to Sade, right? And to me, it still gives me the same vibes that it did when I was a kid. And when I was, 10, 11, 12 years old, listening to the music. And I feel like, again, timeless. Music that is it's going to last for more than just one summer, more than just one hit. I think
Right.
that that's what we as artists are trying to achieve. And that is and becomes a universal form of communication, a universal vibe, energy. And you can't fake those things.
Not at all. And of course, when we've been going through these last 2 years, specifically of just changes and emotions and not being really sure as to what's the next step, and
Yeah,
us Virgos being able to plan accordingly. So the music definitely kind of takes the pressure off.
yeah, yeah.
In so many ways, especially when you go back to what you grew up on. It gives you a like a peace, a bit of ease and thinking if life could just be this easy, we would be good. We could make it just one more week. You know
You
what
know,
I'm saying?
I tell people all the time, I'm a kid that I grew up in the Bronx. I'm a Bronx kid, in and out, and you can. I live in Atlanta. You can take me out the Bronx, but you can never take the Bronx out of me. And I've seen some crazy things in my life. And music has always been the thing that has kept me solid, has kept me going, has kept me focused, has kept me calm, and it still continues to be that. You know what I mean? Even as a person who spent years trying to progress in this industry. Um, as I said earlier, sometimes as artists, we lose that hunger, we lose that faith, we get stressed out because the business of the music business is the part that messes the actual music up. And when all else fails for me, music brings me back. Music kind of refocuses me. I was playing Elvis last night, and my people looking at me like, "What are you doing playing Elvis?" And I was like, "Yo, what? Like y'all don't listen to Elvis?"
Little
Like I listen to
inspiration.
more than just hip hop, more than just
Right.
R&B. You know what I mean? And then I jumped from Elvis to Sade to Lionel Richie. You know what I mean? Then I jumped to the baby, and
Oh
they're
wow,
looking at
you were
me like,
going through it.
I'm everywhere. I'm
From
because for
Sade
me,
to the baby.
yeah, like, but
Okay.
again, I feel like I'm a student. I'm a student of music, and for me, no matter the genre, no matter if it's a male or female, I pick up on little things. I pick up on. I remember as a kid, and when I say as a kid, I mean 9, 10, 11 years old. I used to listen to Michael Jackson records,
Oh my gosh. Oh
and
my
I would,
gosh. You
and
have to
and
listen to Michael Jackson. It's
I'm going around the
oh,
house dancing like Michael, right?
what?
But even back then, before I even knew that I wanted to be an artist, I was studying these records. You know what I mean? I would listen to the different textures that Michael would do. And then now, because of YouTube, I'm watching videos of how he recorded songs and all the little weird things that he did to get certain sounds out of his voice. And I was like, man, that dude he was a genius. And I just study. I'm a study. I'm a Virgo. I'm a people watcher. And for me, again, it's just that one thing that you can't fake the funk when it comes to music.
If you're a lover of it, yeah, absolutely, you cannot. And you have named all of those greats that would definitely display your love for music because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have that. It's been just totally, kind of a worldwide experience for you, and that's awesome, especially if you're able to then, like I stated before, put it in your art and put it out for the world.
Yes.
Nothing better, that you don't have to feel like you're in a box, and you have to only do this. You can, experience so many other things, experiment with so many other things, because coming from Lil Baby, the baby, going into Sade, and then coming out to Elvis, that was a piece of work. I would love to know what production came from that.
You know what's funny, man? I think that it's so something that's kind of weird for me. I can be in the most R&B, romantic, whatever type of mood, soft mood, and I'm making a hard record 20 minutes later. And it can be the opposite. I can be listening to Tupac, hit him up, and then I get back in the studio and I'm doing an R&B record. Um, for me, it's kind of just quenching that thirst of energy and vibe. And I always tell people, I've never been an artist that I'm gonna tell you, yo, at 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm gonna be in the studio. I've never been that type of guy. I'm all about energy. I can wake up, I can go to bed now, take a nap, and wake up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna spend the rest of the night in the studio. Or I
Okay.
might be like, you know what? I'm not gonna be in there till next week. For me, it's all about energy and vibe, and I need these things to kind of put me in that music vibe, musically as an artist, and be able to create for myself and others. And I've always been like that, and I think that that's that's the amazing thing of being a creative. It's you on your own rules. It's your own thing coming out of your own brain and your own heart. And it's you, authentically you, for the most
Yes.
part.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we have spent some time with International Nova getting acquainted. He has introduced us to who and what is coming up. We do have the new music controller as well as Daya, Dahlia,
Dolly, Dolly,
Dolly.
Dolly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming soon. So we will have him back for part two, where he's not in between studio and highway and being able to chill and talk more about it. But it has definitely been an experience to sit and listen to your story, listen to your journey. And
Yeah.
we look forward to watching more and more of you as an artist just create because I think it's amazing. And we do
Thank you.
appreciate you taking a few moments out of your busy schedule. Because listen, we saw you only chimed in with us maybe about 5 o'clock today. So I had to say that we know that you were busy, but we do appreciate the fact that
Yeah. Well,
you would
you know what's
tap in.
crazy? On top of everything, I was without a phone for the last 3 days. My phone
Oh
screen
no,
cracked and it broke. Then I'm going from Apple Store to
no way.
T-Mobile to this store to that store. It's been a journey, but
To
V,
say the
thank you.
least.
Yeah, yeah, but thank you so much for the platform, for the opportunity. I think that as artists, we need people like you in these platforms
Thank
because
you.
without that, we're just people trying to make music for somebody to hopefully hear one day. And for me, whether I got a million streams or two streams, if I can make somebody's day better with my music and with my outlet, my creative outlet, I really really appreciate that. So thank you for the platform. You have an amazing show. The vibe is
Thank you.
everything. So thank you.
Oh, yes. Cheers. And we'll have to have you back so you can cheers with
Yes.
us the right way. Yes. Thank you so, so much. Ladies and gentlemen, International Nova, you can find him on all social media. You can find the new single Controller on all streaming platforms, as well as, let me just say, Photogenic, which we don't want to leave out our other family before we get off. Zaim, we've had him on as the newest
You've had
member
Zaim
of.
on here?
We've had him on as the newest member of Force MDs.
Zaim
He was
is
all
one.
with them.
He's one of my best friends. I've known Zaim
Eee!
for years. One of those people that I met through the industry, and our friendship, our brotherhood. That's my brother. Goes beyond the industry.
Wow.
Amazing, amazing artist. He and I have a million records together that we haven't released.
Oh
But
wow. I'll have to check
man,
that
shout out to
out.
Zaim the Dream. That's my brother. That's my brother.
Yeah, shout out to Zaim. And I did post, I love that song, Photogenic. So I thought that was dope as well, especially going into Valentine's Day. So
You know
that was
what's
just
crazy?
perfect.
I'm gonna tell you this too, V. Photogenic. That whole album is 9 years old.
What was the name of the album?
Point of No Return.
Okay.
And it
I
was my
like it.
debut album. I signed to Spectral Records at the time, Sony. And it's funny because people to this day bring up that record and they bring up Mansions and Audemars, and those are all records that came out in 2013.
Okay.
And I find it funny because again, it's one of those things that it lasts. It goes through years and years later. So again, this is why music for me is so important for all of us as artists to get our creative outlet out there and put it out there because you
Absolutely.
never know what type of art you can create that can last longer than we do sometimes.
Yeah, the actual classics is what we want to listen to on and on.
Amen. Amen.
That is. So I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, again, International Nova, we thank you so, so much. Hang with us just a second and we'll
Yes,
get
ma'am.
you. All right. Take care. Thank you guys.